So we're knocking on
Oh,
the...
Mr. Narracott, I thought that you'd left us.
Someone scuttled my boat.
Oh, but that's dreadful. Surely the harbour master will send another boat when you're missed.
Not in this storm, I'm afraid. And even then, it won't be reported.
Why ever not?
My brother. He knew I might not be immediately back.
I'm terribly sorry for your trouble. The Owens should be arriving shortly. I'm sure you can get a ride back in that boat. If you'll excuse me, I must get ready for dinner.
So many little bits of information that I want to be like, oh, this is really exciting. This is from the book. It's really exciting, but I don't want to spoil
Yes?
things in case they change things as well.
Mr. Narracott, I had a question for you. Have you heard anything in Sticklehaven about this house being set up as a guest house?
No, Miss Brent.
No. Mrs. Rogers hasn't either. And who are the Owens?
I haven't met them yet.
Would it surprise you to learn neither have Mr. and Mrs. Rogers? It's odd. Very odd. If you'll excuse me, Mr. Narracott, I must make dinner preparations.
Very interesting, eh?
My wife is indisposed, not receiving visitors today.
Your wife, sir?
What?
Your wife?
My wife? Yes. Leslie. I'm sorry, my boy. I was wool gathering, miles away. My apologies. Must dress for dinner now. Send my orderly to me, if you will. No, that's not right. What was I thinking? I must get ready for dinner now.
So, I did actually notice that. Can you, like, look through the keyhole? Oh. So that also gives you a little bit of insight into them as well. Oh, I can't look at anyone else's. I can only look at him. Okay. And this is the other one to check.
It's tightly locked.
So, does that give me any new guests? Nope. I can't remember who Blore was. Or Blore. Alright, what items have I got? Am I meant to be... Nope.
Nothing else to see about that. I can't see anything of interest. Nothing a little elbow grease can't undo.
Ah, okay. Got the cheesecloth.
I can't take that apart.
Oh, so that's taking
Nothing
things
else
apart.
to see about that.
Okay.
I see nothing remarkable.
But we've got a random cloth.
Nothing else to see about that.
And some cheese.
I see nothing remarkable. I can't see anything of interest.
Can I take it
I'm
apart?
afraid it's stuck that way.
Okay. Right, so... I think I'm at the point already of just randomly clicking over things and seeing what happens. Because... I don't think anyone's going to be outside, so I'm not going to have to call them to dinner. Okay.
It's got power, but it still doesn't seem to be working. I won't do that. That isn't such a good idea. Perhaps another time.
That's another time, so that's a terrible idea. Could try the cheese. That seems terrible. So it's got power, but otherwise isn't working. Might be something we need to do later, maybe? Maybe I should go to dinner again.
I shouldn't do that. I need to have my wits about me.
But I'll just grab the alcohol.
I shouldn't do that. I need to have my wits about me.
What have I even got? Oh, I've got drink glasses and a cocktail shaker. In case they're needed. So you still haven't made any moves.
It's tightly locked.
Right, so we've gone all
May
that.
I interrupt for a moment?
No.
Please, Mr. Narracott, this is a time for concentration, not conversation.
So we've done a loop round there. We've gone round the upstairs rooms.
A place for everything and everything in its place. A place for everything and
okay.
everything in its place.
So, what must I do? What do I have to do? How do I progress things?
10 little sailor boys. Charming.
Can I smash them?
That doesn't make sense.
Well, it does, technically.
I won't do that.
Okay, I was wondering if I could put that out.
Mr. Rogers, I was wondering if I might have a word.
Perhaps you'd find one of the guests with more free time to chat. None of them are doing any work.
I mean, the guests, no. Obviously. Let's go up the stairs.
I can't think what Mr. Rogers would say if dinner was late.
What do you, can
I can't stop to talk. Too much to do.
But I want to help. Okay, I don't want to help. I want to progress the game. Is that too much to ask?
Nothing out of order in here. I'd best not take anything, though. I'm sure he would notice.
Okay. Hello.
I copied the contents into my notebook.
Let's have a look at that then. The letter. Dear Dr. Armstrong, you come highly recommended to me by your esteemed colleague, Dr. William Weathersby of Harley Street. I have a great favour to ask. My wife's health appears to be deteriorating. She has for many years now been plagued by arthritis of a very severe sort, and more recently have observed short bouts of uncontrollable muscle spasms. I am unable to explain. Yet you won't hear of seeing a doctor. I was very much hoping you could join a little weekend house party we have planned for August the 8th at our home on Shipwreck Island in South Devon. If you are amenable, a boat will call for you at Sticklehaven to ferry you the short distance to our little hideaway. Please accept the enclosed cheque of £200 as a small initial retainer. I know you will be able to help her. I promise you your efforts will not go unrewarded. Sincerely, U.N. Owen. And apparently, that's not new information here. Telling me about him. So
I can't open it. It's locked.
we're picking up little snippets of information. That's good. Maybe I'm meant to go more thoroughly around the other rooms then. Maybe that's what's meant to happen. Oh, hello.
I copied the contents into my notebook. Polished marble spheres and some books. Nothing worth investigating further.
Okay. Blaw's letter. As an ex-CID man and now private detective, you come highly recommended to me. It's my wife's jewels, you see. She simply won't keep them locked in the safe. This house party we have coming up has got me worried, I can tell you. The instructions are as possible. Join the house party my wife and I are giving the weekend of August the 8th on Shipwreck Island off Sticklehaven. Pose as a guest and keep your eyes on the other guests. Dr. Edward Armstrong, a Harley Street man. Quite well thought of, I believe. Emily Brent, a spinster lady of strong moral beliefs. Vera Claythorne, my wife's new secretary. Philip Lombard, something of an adventurer, I believe. General Mackenzie, a retired military man. He's the guy who thinks his wife is around for some reason. Anthony Marston, the sportsman, youngest son of a minor dukedom. A long way from any worthwhile title or any worthwhile occupation from the sound of him. Judge Wargrave, recently retired, supposed to be an absolute tyrant in the courtroom. A rum lot, if you ask me, but they are my wife's guests, so I'm stuck with them. There's also a butler and housekeeper by the name of Thomas and Ethel Rogers. We hired them through the Regina Agency in Plymouth. They seem trustworthy enough, but who knows. Number 3, keep an eye on them all, and the jewels I'm sure my wife will have on display at every possible opportunity. I've enclosed what I understand is your standard retainer. If the weekend goes without incidents, there will be a sizable bonus as well. Yours truly, Ulrich Norman Owen. So that was Mr. Blore. Oh, hello. Oops.
Once a bent copper, always a bent copper. Right, Fred?
You're talking through your hat. You were the Purcell gang's inside man on the force, not my brother.
Your brother? Don't try to kid me, Fred. There's still a handsome reward out for you.
Fred is my brother. I'm Patrick Fane.
No reason for me to believe you that I can see. There's still a big reward out for Fred Fane.
You scuttled my boat to trap me here.
You recognized me, too. I saw it in your eyes.
Only because Davis showed Fred the passenger list yesterday. I came in my brother's place. We didn't think you might mistake me for him. Fred is 8 years older than me. Look closely, Blore.
You do look young, I noticed that. Thought it must be the sea air.
You were taking the Purcells' bribes for years. After the Landor case, people began to ask questions. The Purcells needed what the Yank detective novels call a fall guy. My brother was framed, you were in the clear.
Your whole story sounds like a detective novel.
I've never stopped trying to clear Fred's name and put you in Dartmoor prison where you belong. Thanks to your greed, I may now have that chance.
Maybe you're Patrick, maybe you're Fred. I don't know, and I don't much care. You're either a criminal, or you've been harboring one all these years. I wonder what my fellow guests will think of that. Go on, Mr. Narracott. Hop it. I need to prepare for dinner.
That sounds like the dinner bell.
Oh, there we
Mr.
go.
Narracott, unfortunately, we are not prepared for your presence at dinner. I would be most happy to deliver you a sandwich later this evening, if that will do.
That will be fine, Rogers. Thank you.
Excellent. Now, if you will excuse me, I must get to serving.
By all means. I can hear them all in the dining room chattering. I can't quite make out what they're saying. This might be a good time to explore the house more thoroughly.
So, yes, because I can now go into the rooms that the people were in. So... Ooh, all the ones that are locked. Oh, that's interesting.
This bears a closer look.
And what is it? 0106 8429 7219 star 937 Bernstorff. Very interesting.
I copied the contents into my notebook.
Okay. Tony, get out your dinner jacket and polish your shoes. I've nosed an invitation for us for the August 8th weekend, the Owens. You don't know them, new money I'm afraid, but they do well in drinks and dinner. They're usually a few sweet young things about spice up the scenery. You can try out that new motor of yours in the winding lanes of Devon. I'll be along later. If you don't pile it up again, get thee to Sticklehaven. Just head south till you hit water. Boat will be waiting. Your never humble servant, Badger Barkley. Okay. What? Couldn't actually see that because I've got a massive pile of stuff. So, yeah, what am I looking at? Never mind.
I see nothing remarkable.
Okay. Oh, this is the general space, isn't it?
I copied the contents into my notebook.
General Mackenzie. My dear General Mackenzie, I'm giving a little house party here on Shipwreck Island the 8th of August. A couple of your old cronies are coming, Spoof Legard and Johnny Dyer. They suggested I invite you as well. They mentioned they would love to have a talk with you about your days together during the Great War. Something about finally clearing the air, owing you an apology. None of my business, of course, but they especially wanted me to add that last bit. Beyond that, the weather is lovely this time of year. I'm sure I can promise you a relaxing and entertaining weekend. By the by, if you've heard the rumours, they're true. The island was used by the Admiralty before we bought it. All very hush-hush. Spoof and Johnny may know more. Take the train to Oakbridge. A car will meet you there. Very truly yours, U.N. Owen. Ah, this was Miss Brent's room. I thought Miss Brent was there, but this is it.
It would be incredibly improper for me to go through a lady's luggage. I won't do it.
Alright. Well, this is a puzzle game, so I'm kind of assuming we're going to have to do some things like that eventually.
I copied the contents into my notebook.
Wonderful. Brent's letter. Dear Miss Brent, I do hope you remember me. We were together at Belhaven Guest House in August some years ago, and we seem to have so much in common. I'm starting a guest house of my own on an island off the coast of Devon. I think there really is an opening for a place where there is good plain cooking and a nice old-fashioned type of person. None of this nudity and gramophones half through the night. I shall be very glad if you could see your way to spending your summer holiday on Shipwreck Island, quite free, as my guest. Would early in August suit you? Perhaps the 8th? Yours sincerely, U.N. Owen. I see, we're just grabbing her books, but we're not.
I see nothing remarkable.
A King James Bible. Very exciting. All those these and thous. Oh, you can complain about this. Oh, you're not complaining about the other one?
Makeup supply. Emily must be more concerned with aging than she lets on.
She's not said anything! I'm just randomly going through people's stuff for no reason, because the game's telling me to. Qu'est-ce que c'est?
Let me examine this further.
To whom it may concern, please advise my patient, Miss Emily Caroline Brent, is extremely allergic to insect stings, most particularly bees and wasps. She carries with her a supply of epinephrine. The dosage on the label must be injected immediately should she be stung, and professional medical attention summoned without delay.
Various toiletries. Nothing of interest that I can see.
And someone's pipe.
I see nothing remarkable.
Interesting. Where does that pipe stem come from? Who's next to her?
I'd almost swear I recognize that chap. Does he have the eyes of a killer?
I don't know, because no one's been killed yet.
I copied the contents into my notebook.
Right, okay, very good. I found a newspaper clipping in Vera's bedroom. Oh, right. So that is a bit of evidence because it's two Miss Vera Claythorne and Miss Emily Brent here, and yet between the two there was a pipe stem. 12th of August 1935, Cyril Hamilton, aged 8, is drowned in a swimming accident off the coast near Plymouth. He was being watched by his governess, Miss Vera Claythorne, but swam out too far before he could be stopped. Police have questioned her and the child's brother Hugo Hamilton, aged 24, who was also present at the time. Both were found innocent of any negligence. It goes on to mention funeral arrangements and an address for donations. None of this is my concern.
This is a fairly sparse makeup case. Vera isn't the type to use much makeup, though. It would be incredibly improper for me to go through a lady's luggage. I won't do it. That's an interesting clock. A shame it doesn't seem to work.
Puzzle. Oh, hang on. Right, that's fine. Haven't we already been through? No, we've not been here. Well. Lombard.
I copied the contents into my notebook.
Lombard's agreement. Captain Lombard, let this serve as the formal agreement between us. As I mentioned in my telephone, it is understood by my client that you are a resourceful man in a tight place, as you proved several years ago in East Africa, and more than a few times elsewhere in various other corners of the world. You may rest assured my client knows your accomplishments very well. I'm empowered to pay you the enclosed 100 guineas in return for which you will travel to Sticklehaven, Devon, on August the 8th, where a motor launch will convey you to Shipwreck Island. There you will hold yourself at the disposal of my client for not more than 1 week. Sincerely, Archibald Morris, Solicitor, Gray's Inn.